Peace be with you everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor, very grateful to have you here, and today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my weekly rotation. Forgot the exact dates. I've been in the middle of moving and I'm a bit late getting to this weekly rotation video here today. Just recently got set up, got moved into the new house, got the internet up and running and my desktop established, got a little bit of time on my hands here. Both my kids are taking a nap right now, so I'm going to try and make this quick. I'm starting off with the fragrance that I wore Monday, the only one that I got a compliment on. This is Tom Ford Beau de Jour. Actually got a unsolicited compliment from a customer at work. I deliver food for a restaurant and one of the people that I was dropping their food off to said I smelled really good, and this was the fragrance that I was rocking. Usually is not so much of a compliment puller for me. It does have a little bit of a mature scent profile and a little bit more of a classy upscale type of vibe to it, so I don't usually wear this one when I'm at work, but I haven't worn it yet this month. But it is one of my favorites to wear during the month of March because it has mint and a really nice creamy lavender in here. Those are two really key notes that I particularly enjoy during the month of March, where you've got that spring vibe and the greenery starting to emerge on the grass, but it's still really brisk out. I think this one does an excellent job at just harmonizing with that sort of weather pattern. So that was my fragrance of the day for Monday, Tom Ford's Beau de Jour. For Tuesday, sticking in with the fougere theme here, Rive Gauche from YSL. Really nice sort of semi-sweet fougere. You get that really photorealistic shaving foam like out of the can, but it's sweetened up with a little bit of a star anise quality to it as well. So one of my favorites, definitely does a good job of articulating that hypothetical fern scent profile. It does have a little bit of an outdoorsy feel to it, as some of my favorite fougères do. Not quite the case with the Beau de Jour, but this one does have something that feels a little bit outdoorsy to it with a touch of sweetness, and sadly discontinued. Shout out to Tyler at Simply Fragrances. He was the one that encouraged me to pick this one up. He did a video on his top discontinued fragrances, and I just knew I had to scoop this one up before I didn't have a chance to get it. Shout out to Manly Scents as well. I don't think he posts videos, but he's a regular in the community, in the live chats at times, and I actually bought this off of him on Etsy. So Rive Gauche Pour Homme from YSL. This is the La Collection version for Tuesday. Wednesday, another one that I hadn't gotten around to wearing yet, but one of my favorites for this time of the year. This is Guerlain Vetiver, a hallmark sort of benchmark vetiver fragrance, a benchmark green fragrance for me in particular. Really nice kind of citric quality, and then the soapy vetiver. It's a little bit like you would get with Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver if you're familiar with that, but this one has a lot more depth than that. That one is a little bit more of a summertime grab for me, whereas this one, it has this, I think, myrrh and tobacco that really gives it this a little bit of a dirty quality, but it's something that I particularly appreciate about this classic here. And I did see that they recently came out with a Parfum version of this. I've heard mixed reviews on it. I'm going to try and get my nose on it, but this is one of my favorites for the springtime overall, and as you can see, got a nice little dent out of it last spring. First wearing of it for me this spring, however, and one of my favorite wearing experiences for this week is Guerlain's Vetiver. That's the EDT for Wednesday. Thursday was Roja's Apex Parfum. I think Thursday was pretty cold if I can remember correctly. This is one that I really like to wear on the cold spring days. It has a lot of depth to it. It opens up with a really nice melange of fruity accords. I think there's some like pineapple, orange, bergamot, lemon, just like kind of like a fruit basket opening. Gets into a really nice sort of outdoorsy, rugged, manly style, oak mossy feel, and then gets a little bit creamy in the dry down. I don't know if that's because there's maybe some sandalwood in here. I haven't looked at the exact note breakdown. The Rojas usually have a pretty large list of them though, but yeah, really beautiful wearing experience. Goes through a multifaceted layer of top, mid to dry down, and one of my most well-received fragrances, at least with the people that I work with. This is Roja's Apex Parfum. I haven't got my nose on the Parfum Cologne. I want to try that one out just because I know this one is a little bit pricey. I'm not really that keen on recommending it. It is, I think, a little overpriced. I think I paid like $260 for this 50 ml. Really great stuff though, and like I said, it's been well received by both people at work, and when my son was born, the nurses in the hospital were asking my wife what scent your husband was wearing after I had left the hospital. So really great stuff here. This is Roja's Apex Parfum for Thursday. Okay, Friday. This I think was my first wearing of this fragrance. This is Beach Hut Man from Amouage, and really super glad that I picked this one up. This one just fits in perfectly with the vibe that I appreciate about wearing fragrances in the beginning of spring here in March. It's got a really nice woody facet and really aromatic style quality mint that doesn't get too nauseating or overbearing or toothpaste-like. It just, like I said earlier on in the video with the Tom Ford's Beau de Jour, mint is just something that I think is a really great note for March and the beginning of spring. It does have a lot of different variations of the way that the note is used. Sometimes it can be a little bit spicy. It has that really nice aromatic touch, but it has a cooling effect as well, and I just feel like all those elements coming together, even like herbaceous and earthy, just articulate the month of March particularly well, and this fragrance articulates the note of mint particularly well. And like I said, like woody, minty, fresh, aromatic, a little bit powdery at times during the wearing experience, not overly so, but just really great wearing for Friday. Friday is a day where I like to wear niche fragrances, and this was a really great wearing experience for me that day as well. Looking forward to getting some more wears out of it throughout the remainder of the springtime, and definitely throughout March. I think I'm going to try and get, if I can find any time, a top 10 to 15-ish March fragrances. A lot of them that I've had my weekly rotations in the past couple weeks, but this one's definitely going to be making my top picks for the month of March coming in the years to come. So that was Amouage Beach Hut Man for Friday. Alright, so Saturday, Gucci Nobile, one of my favorite fragrances, period. There's a point in the wearing experiences in my wearing experience with this on Saturday where I was like, man, if I could only keep one fragrance in my entire collection, this might be one of them. Really something that I could see rocking as a signature scent, sadly discontinued, and sadly sky-high prices on these ones. I think I paid $200 for this 60 ml, and I got a pretty good deal on it on Mercari. But this, again, like the Rive Gauche, has a really nice outdoorsy fougere quality about it. It does feel like you're getting that fresh, aromatic, outdoorsy feel, really articulating that fern, hypothetical scent profile. Just amazing lavender and oak moss concoction, and something that I was reapplying actually quite a bit. Not that it was dissipating, but I just loved just going back and refreshing the scent profile here. I know that Saturday was one of the big moving days, so I was going back and forth between the old house and the new place here, and bringing in a lot of boxes and making sure that my fragrances arrived unscathed. Luckily, nothing, to my knowledge, yet has no broken bottles or anything. I still have to get everything out of storage. It's all boxed up. But yeah, this was just, I think maybe my favorite wearing experience of the week last week. That's Gucci Nobile for Saturday. And for Sunday, finally, this was one that I think might have been my first wearing experience with this one as well. I've been a really big fan of the Parfum version of this, so I was eager to try out the original Eau de Toilette. I think this came out in '92. I particularly enjoyed this one, but I feel like there are a lot of others in the genre that I would rather reach for, so this isn't going to be one of my top recommendations or picks per se, right now at least, but it does I can see where the DNA from this original is present in the Parfum. This is Pasha de Cartier Eau de Toilette. I actually reached for this one because I was on Instagram and I saw that Razor Ramon the barber had this as his scent of the day, and I was like, man, I've got one of those. I haven't worn it yet. Gonna go break it out. The keynote for me in this one is a creamy sandalwood, so it's a very creamy sandalwood fougere, green aromatic style fragrance. There were times that I felt like the aromatics in here were getting a little bit overbearing in some sense. I don't know, it was just, it could have just been because I was fasting too, had an empty stomach, and this fragrance, despite, there are certain points in the wearing experience where it felt a little bit nauseating. I don't know if there is mint in here, but mint does that to me at times if it's not done correctly. Didn't get that with Beau de Jour or Beach Hut Man, but this one, there were times where it was just a little bit too much to say. Looking forward to wearing some more of this one to kind of get a full grappling on it. I kind of had the same experience with one of my wearing experiences of Vetiver Sensual. The first time I wore that one, I got a lot of the Vetiver The second time I got a lot of kind of like the watery florals in it, and the third time I got a lot of the mint. So different wearing experience each of the 3 times that I had worn that one. So definitely need to get some experience with fragrances. I encourage people to wear them a lot before you really make and pass a judgment on them, because I was wearing Toy Boy for years before I really picked up on the pear note in that one. So definitely looking forward to giving this one some more chances, but right now it's not my favorite. That was my fragrance today for Sunday. Okay, and I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. Thank you for being patient. If you are a regular viewer and you're used to me uploading these weekly rotations on Monday, this is the first time I've gotten settled in at the new place and found some time where the kids were both napping. So, as always, thank you so much for being here with me to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.